Thank you very much. I'm Jake, and this is Justin. It's great to be here on the moon with you all today. We're going to talk about how we're using artificial intelligence to improve financial literacy for millions of people around the world. I'm Jake. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Finn.ai. Finn is a conversational banking platform powered by artificial intelligence. So think something like Siri or Google Assistant, but built just for banks. We work only with banks and with banks around the world like Commonwealth Bank of Australia to help them deliver a smart, personal, conversational assistant that helps consumers plan and take action to improve their financial lives.
So I'm Justin O'Donnell, and I'm from the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So the Commonwealth Bank of Australia is a financial service provider that offers services in retail, business, institutional banking, and wealth management. In Australia, 1 in 3 people recognise themselves to be a primary banker with the Commonwealth Bank. That's a pretty big stat. The Commonwealth Bank is the 10th largest bank in the world now by market cap, making us pretty huge, and we're only getting bigger. Earlier this year, announcing that we're entering South Africa with a digital bank. Banking is required, but banks are not. Banking is required, but banks are not. Many people in this room have spent most of their career trying to make banking as complex as possible, and now we're creating startups and spending so much effort trying to unwind, trying to unbundle, simplify, explain, justify, and tutor our customers and potential customers on the most simplest of tasks. Banking doesn't need to be complex. We're also spending so much time trying to educate our customers on what comes next. We're creating jargon. We're always focusing on digital. But we're still having our operating models focus around branch networks, and this simply just does not align to the needs of the customers for tomorrow. So what are we doing? We're focusing on coaching. We're focusing on changing the message of how we're talking to our customers today. What I'd like to do with everyone is think about the market that we're launching a product in first with you, which is going to be called TymeCoach. And the topic that I came to talk to you today about was using artificial intelligence to drive financial literacy in this market. And you might wonder, this is an Asian conference, and we'll get to that a little bit later. If we want to try and create as a mass change in the world, we can't do this by ourselves. What we need to protect ourselves from is creating an illusion of knowledge. An illusion of knowledge is as bad as taking someone on the wrong path. And at the Commonwealth Bank, we believe single source financial education will not work. As banks, we all use human-centered design. That's really exciting. We're delivering in Agile. This is only now scraping the surface in what we're trying to do to achieve mass change around the world. What I'd like you to do is all squint your eyes a little bit, and it'll try and make it feel like you're on the moon with me, and we're going to double-click down to South Africa. So South Africa has a population of 57 million people. That's about 10 times the size of the population of Singapore. The average age of someone in South Africa is 26 years old. 75% of countries around the world have a higher average age. This will become important in a second. Then I'd like you to think about currently the 16 and 17-year-old population in South Africa is leaving school by the age of 14. This is still happening in 2018. Then let's double click a bit further. Unemployment is currently sitting at 26.6%. The average wage is currently just under $300 per month. And if we want to take that to the next level, we now go, what does that have to do with banking? In South Africa, a third of the population have formally entered the credit market. So 22 million people currently have a regulated lending facility. That would be okay if we were going to the educated people who are financially literate, but it's not. As of yesterday, 10,571,362 people currently have a bad credit score. That is double the population of Singapore or almost half the population of Australia not knowing how to use a credit product, but they've also removed themselves from the credit system for the next at least 3 years. Now let's flip that on its head. There are 58,000 children living in 35,000 adult-free households. That means there is no one supporting them or financially providing for them over the age of 17. Why does that matter? It's quite a difficult one to solve, and it's one that's on our list. So there are 29% of those people who don't even have someone in their house that's over 15 years old. That's a scary number. I can't imagine even being 14 and looking after myself, let alone also looking after someone else. But of those 79%, there is a small glimpse of hope. And we're also trying to help these people. So in this 79 group of people, if you're 16 years old in South Africa, you can now get a government ID. That government ID allows you to open a bank account. That bank account allows you to get a social grant. You now have money coming in from the government, as small as it is, that's able to support your family. Now let's flip that back to, okay, I'm 15, 16 or 7, or I'm 16 or 17 years old, and I now have money coming in. But I left school, or I never went to school when I was 14. So I have no idea what to do with it. There are some pretty crazy stats when we think about 2018. So imagine a world where someone was always on your side. Someone was there to proactively help you, proactively guide you, and give you insights into what you should do next. They're not looking at your faults, but if you make a fault, they're able to pick it up and they're able to tell you to do something a little bit differently. Like a proper coach, or even if you've got a personal trainer at the gym, they're always trying to make sure that you're fit or financially fit. And so this is our goal. How can we empower 22 million lives by 2022 using artificial intelligence and getting people on the right path? We're not going to ask people, are you paying that person back? Are you paying that bill? We're going to look at data to make sure that you're doing it. We're, like a personal trainer, are not going to believe that you're going to go home and do those 10 push-ups. We're going to make sure that you're stronger than you were the last time I spoke to you. If you start doing something wrong, we'll call you out on it. So I'm super excited today to launch Max. So Max is the Commonwealth Bank's first financial fitness coach, which will be launched in South Africa in June this year. You can see Max having a bit of a conversation on the PowerPoint, but Max is so much more than just a chatbot. Max is a coach that initially will not even be linked to your bank account and is there to do everything that you need it to do. We started the Max journey with Finn.ai approximately 12 months ago, and in November last year, we launched Max in a pilot group in South Africa. Max is already helping over 400 people today. I've got to hand you that.
Thanks, Justin. So we're using artificial intelligence to strip banking of its complexity and jargon and interact with customers on their own terms, using the same simple natural language that they use to chat to their friends. And Max can interact with customers in the same places they're chatting with friends, in Facebook Messenger, in Messenger Lite, as well as chat within the mobile apps and website that will launch as part of Time Digital. So that means banking in South Africa is now as easy as chatting to a friend. If I want to do something like check the status of a money transfer, I can do that now as easily as saying, hey Max, I made a transfer 3 days ago. Can you tell me if anyone's collected it yet? Max can also talk to customers about the products and services we're offering as part of Time Digital. You can see some of those conversations happening on the screens above me. And we've trained Max to answer hundreds of the most common banking support questions. That provides instant 24/7 access or answers to customers directly within their channel of choice, places like Facebook Messenger. And Max is pretty clever. So if you ask a question or have a problem like, Max, my wallet got stolen, help me, our response will be, no problem, Jake. I've put an instant hold on your debit card. If you send me your location, I can take you to a kiosk, which is a physical location, and we can get you a new debit card. If I send my location, Max will, through Google Maps, take me to the nearest kiosk. Once I'm there, I can print out a new debit card, personalized with my name on it in less than 2 minutes and be on my way. As their financial fitness coach, Max is also there to help customers plan and take action to improve their financial lives. As Justin mentioned, South Africa has a big issue around credit scores. 50% of consumers who have a credit score have a bad credit score. This is the first problem we've trained Max to help with. So now accessing your credit score in South Africa is as easy as saying in Facebook Messenger, "Hey Max, what's my credit score?" And then, let's face it, credit scores are pretty complex and hard to understand at the best of times. So Max is also there to answer those follow-up questions. Well, what does this mean for me? Why do I have a bad credit score? How do I improve my credit score? And Max is smart enough to also proactively nudge and coach consumers around their credit score. So we'll look at your credit report and send you an alert every time somebody runs a credit check on you. We'll look at your credit report and send you an alert every time somebody opens up a credit facility in your name. That's a big issue in South Africa with a lot of fraud. And we're always training Max to get smarter and to do new things. So one of the things we're working on at the moment is looking at your credit report to figure out when the repayments are due on your credit facilities and sending you a reminder to make those payments. If you miss a payment, we can reach out and help to understand why and help you to understand the impact of missing that payment and nudge you to get back on track. So we're really excited to be working with Commonwealth Bank on Max. And a big part of that is a really strong alignment around how we can use this kind of artificial intelligence technology to build a digital assistant that helps consumers understand and navigate a really complex financial world and improve their financial well-being.
So I remember the day that we met the very first time, and we were talking about the vision of empowering 22 million people by 2022. This is a pretty crazy number, and when Jake and the team said to me, that's exactly, well, not exactly a mission, but we would like to try and change the lives of millions of people in the coming years as well, I knew our vision and our values were the same. We've been now working together for 12 months, and we're at a point where we're going to take this product to market, and we're pretty excited. We're also excited to present today because we're also looking for people to come on the journey with us. But if you're going to come on the journey, it's not easy to empower that many lives. And the only way that you're going to be able to do it is through artificial intelligence in the channels that they're using today. Creating your own channel within an app will only work if you've got those millions of people who are willing to learn something new. We'll be in Facebook. We'll be in Facebook Lite. You'll also have an app called TymeCoach where you can go and see all the information that sits behind the conversation that Max is having with you. Coach, don't bank. Coach, don't bank. That's probably the biggest one that we've said to the team that's been working on this. Our focus is not to bank these customers. Our focus is to make them financially fit. That's how we're going to get to 22 million customers. And that's how I would say that's the only way we're going to be able to scale that quickly. The third is you can't do anything for the detriment of your customers. If you give one piece of wrong help, I won't say advice, but I'll say if you give that wrong piece of help, you're potentially going to make someone's life worse off. So we've partnered with a world leader so that we know when we go to market, we're not test and learning on our customers. We're going to market with something that's strong. And I think finally, with 40 seconds to go, I'd also like to say if there's anyone that shares the same vision of trying to empower that many lives, we would love to talk to you. Additionally, if you think you can help us empower that many lives, we'd also love to talk to you as well. It's a big, huge task that we're going to try and defeat over the next 4 years, but we actually think it's possible. Thank you.
Thank you.